Hello, hello. It's Lisa Copeland with another episode of Real Estate Her Way. And y'all, I'm so excited about this guest that I've got. First of all, I'm obsessed with her. Okay. I follow her on social media. I got to meet her in Miami at an Elena Cardone, Claudianne Hibbert Smith event. And I just fell in love with her. She joined our organization and unbelievable. So, Talia Bashani, you're a real estate attorney, you're a real estate broker, you're in New York City, you are in Miami, Florida, you've got celebrity clients at your law firm like Ryan Serhant, Barbara Corcoran. Like, your social media is on point, like amazing. So I'm just kind of fangirling right now about you, but I want you to tell everybody all about you because you're just so fascinating.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Lisa. Well, first of all, really love being on your show. It was such a pleasure meeting you in Miami and very honored to be here. So thank you. I've been looking forward to this so much. And hello, everyone out there. I am just, one of those women that really hit the ground running. I started my career way back when, 16 years ago, in New York City. I actually
Where did you go to law school? Where did you go to school?
I went to Washington University, which is out of St. Louis, and I am a Midwest girl, so I was born and raised in St. Louis, but I am a big city girl by heart. I had to get out of the small town. I had to be where all the action was. I felt like life was passing me by if I wasn't in, the big city. So right after law school, I moved to New York. I started working for a midtown law firm. I was the only female attorney in an all male law firm, which,
Ooh.
really kind of, it had its challenges. Let me tell you, I had to pull myself up by my bootstraps and run with the big boys. But I really, had to develop thick skin early, as a 26-year-old. And, it was a good and bad experience. Let me tell you, everything happens for a reason. I worked there for about a year and change, and I did this whole new development offering plan for one of the partners from scratch. And then the market took a turn. This was 2008. Market took a turn. They dumped the project for the new development, and he promised me a 5K bonus, and he stiffed me on my bonus after I did all of the work. So I just felt completely slighted and undervalued. And I went home that night and I was like, you know what? I cannot stay working for a firm that doesn't value my time and my effort after all of this extra work that I did. So I decided to leave. And let me tell you, it was the biggest turning point in my life and in my career. It took a lot of faith, but I took a chance on myself and I said, I'll find somewhere else to work. I'm not staying here anymore. I deserve more than that. So anyway, fast forward, I was either going to go work for another law firm or I had an opportunity to start my own firm.
And how old were you then? How old were you?
So now I'm 27. I was 27.
Okay. Boss baby.
I was like, you know what, let me do it. I told myself, I said, I'll give it a year. I'll give myself a shot. And if I fail, I'll go back and I'll find another law firm. But if I succeed, then why not, take that opportunity and open the doors for something that could be amazing. And so I started out in sales actually, because I have my broker license. Yeah. By virtue of being an attorney in the state of New York, you automatically get your broker license and without having to take a test or class or whatever. So I hit the ground running. I started getting listings just through my network. My brother was a photographer. So I was like, come on, Dan, we're going to hit these streets. We're going to hit up these sellers and we're going to, get some listings. I was doing open houses. I was doing everything. And I feel that in order to succeed in life, you really have to do the job of like ground zero in order to really come up, right? So it's like, if you want to run a school, you got to start as a janitor. If you want to run, a country, you got to start as a city council person. You always have to learn from the ground up. So for me, I was like, I'm going to hit the streets. I'm going to build my brokerage and I'm going to build my law practice. And so I went to every real estate networking event that I could get my hands on. And I would just work the room and I would meet agents and I would say, hey, do you ever bring attorneys in to speak at your monthly sales meetings? I would love to present, a class on, really any type of real estate topic, like real estate transactions A to Z, representing investors, 1031 exchanges, condos versus co-ops versus new construction, just whatever, there was out there, and present. And that's how I really built my referral network and built a lot of the agents, because there was no digital marketing at that time. There was no advertising. It was in person. You show up. And
isn't that better? I mean, at some point, I was in the mortgage business. I own a mortgage company. I have this company I've owned for 24 years. But I had 2 companies prior to that one that we got bigger, and then we did this one. And I used to have to show up. And that's how I built this $1 billion mortgage machine. Was I showed up and I did the presentations, and I was face to face with the people. And I was young like you were, because I was 30 when I started my first company. And there's so much value to that. Like, you can't like BS your way through a face-to-face, like shake. Like, you and I met face-to-face. Like, you can tell the energy of somebody. I told Elena Cardone when we met you, I'm like, that's our girl right there. She's badass. She's in New York. She's an attorney. We love her. And I wouldn't have gotten that from you. I love your social media. I totally follow you. I'm always commenting. You're amazing. But I don't feel like I would have had the same connection with you if I would have just seen you on Instagram. I would have thought you're amazing, but I wouldn't have been like, we have to have her join us at any level, whatever that looks like. We need her. And so do you think that we're missing some of that in business today?
I mean, I do. I think, social media is a lot of fluff. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors. It's a lot of look at me, look at me. And I feel like it should no longer be about me. I think, everything that I do on social media, I'm doing for the people, right? I'm trying to give value. I'm trying to create content that's going to help other people. I'm trying to give back. So I agree with you. I think it's, between the filters and the perceptions of, everything on social media, it's really, we're losing the realistic aspect of human nature, of who we are as people, as far as the reality of who we are. So I agree with you on that. Look, influencers, I get it. You have 2 million plus followers, that's amazing. But what are you doing as on a day-to-day, beyond just showcasing other people's products? What are you doing to really effectuate change in our community, in our industry? How are you making the world better?
And I'm kind of going off course because I love talking to you, but what does that do? We talk about the influencers, right? And we're talking about this whole website, this whole podcast is about women empowerment. It's about helping women build generational wealth and wealth in real estate, all of the above, because, there is a large disparity that we'll talk about at the end. And but what does that do to women and to girls when, you said the filters, the I'm standing by the jet that's not mine. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then how does that make the normal, I say normal, the yous and me's of the world, right? And young girls and what is that doing to everybody's psyche? What do you think?
Well, I personally think that it's giving them a false depiction of what success truly means. That if they don't look a certain way, then they're not going to be popular. They're not going to be well liked. They're not going to be successful in life. So unfortunately, I think image to them starts to matter more than hard work, than, strong work ethic, than
education, expertise.
Education. Yes. Things that really count in the grand scheme of things, especially as women, because we automatically, are seen from, as sex symbols, as opposed to, real people that actually make a difference in this world and in, society where, we are holding higher positions. We are actually becoming more, breadwinners. Like we are
Yeah,
becoming
the stats are
executives.
amazing.
Yeah, in companies, so I think the younger generation, like the Gen Zs, are really battling that and are facing a lot of challenges because they are getting misguided and misled by social media.
Yeah, I think so too. So bouncing back, because I'm really good at going back and forth and all the way around.
I love it.
Um, yeah, exactly. So like my dream always was, I was a fashion major in school and I wanted to go to school in New York. I got this thing for New York, right? Like I love the city. I love the energy, all of that. What's it like being this Midwestern girl in the
Yeah,
Big Apple of absolute tigers and sharks and the most ferocious people on planet Earth, right? Like it's the mecca of
it is.
business, and finance, and real estate, and all kinds of stuff going on in New York nowadays. So, what do you ever feel like? How do you feel in New York? Like, does it empower you? Does it ever knock you down? Like, I'd love to hear a true New Yorker's opinion.
Yeah, well, it's very invigorating. For me, I love it because it gives me the drive. And everybody in New York is super driven. They're super hungry. It's a dog eat dog mentality. It's,
And that
you don't
pushes you. You like that?
Oh yeah, I love it. It fuels me. I
Yeah.
thrive off of it because I'm a high energy person, and I'm
Mhm.
also, if I don't feel productive in my day to day, then I feel like a failure. So the energy of New York, just I soak it all up because it pushes me to be the best person that I can be, based on my own standards. And some people, it's a love or hate type of city because some people really thrive in that, and some people get trampled and they're like, it's not for me. I want to sit back and chill,
See,
you know?
I know I could thrive in New York. I've told people for years, they're like, oh, it's, there's, I think Ryan Serhant said it in his book, like 80,000 agents, like the ratio is like 1 to 4 people when it comes to real
Yeah,
estate agents in New York. It's
right.
nuts. I don't think that's the number, but it may as well be. And
Yeah,
and I've told people, I'm like, I would crush it in New York. Like that's my 10x. Let's go compete. Let's win
yeah,
mentality. But I
yes.
think you have to have that. My coach, my business coach, my media coach, he's in New York City, and
Mhm.
and I think about all the places I could work with somebody that I'm paying a lot of money to elevate me and my career, and of course I pick a New Yorker
Yeah, of
because in my
course.
head I'm like, I got to have somebody who's built like me. And
Yeah,
and I think New Yorkers are very resilient. Obviously, it seems like anything bad that happens, it 10x's in New York, whether it be the
yeah,
pandemic or 9/11 or anything, and the city always comes back stronger. It seems
it
like,
does. It's
the people are
unity. I mean,
resilient.
mhm. They're
Yeah,
united. It's also very much a winning mindset here. So it's
yeah.
like when you're in New York, it's like you fight to win, and you're grinding and you're hustling, but
Mhm.
you're achieving the results too. So and there's so much money to be made in New York, and there's so much power in New York, and the people that you are associated with and you surround yourself, they always say you put yourself in those circles, you put yourself in those rooms that breed success, right? Well, you can get it and you can find it in New York. I'm not really getting that in St. Louis. Like, sorry, I love the Lou, but it's not, it's just not catering to my lifestyle and to
Do you
my
ever go back
goals.
there? Do you ever
Oh
go back
yeah,
to St. Louis?
yeah, yeah. My family's still there, and I go
Yeah.
back there probably twice a year. Holidays and whatnot. But my mom always wants to come here. She's like, "I'm coming to New York."
Okay,
So
can
it's
we just
like,
talk 1 second? Please
yeah.
tell me, because I'm going to be there in the next few weeks. Is
Yeah.
Century 21 is back open, right?
Oh no, I thought Century 21 closed down.
No, they're back open. Girl,
Oh,
come
well, that's
on.
news to me. That totally
They
went
are.
over my head.
Yeah,
Okay, I had no
they are.
idea. That used to be my stomping ground because I used to be on Wall Street. I was on Broadway and Wall Street, and was right there.
Oh my
And
gosh. Like, so when we go to Century, when I go to New York, I plan one day at Century 21, a whole day.
okay, all right. We'll
Yeah,
go
and
together.
she goes into buying suitcases, and yeah. Anyways, again, I digress when I'm talking to one of my New York friends. Okay, so you've got an office in New York in the city, and then you're also in Miami. What is your thought? New York, Florida, like why?
Honestly, it's the perfect balance, okay? Because New York, I'm always on 10. Miami for me is a great, place for me to unwind and unplug. And I love the lifestyle and I love the palm trees and the ocean, and it
Yeah,
just relaxes me. And you need that balance or you're going to burn out,
yeah,
for me. So it just kind of speaks to the my soul because I need to recharge. And I'm a water sign, so I just love being in tropical paradise. So I
do
split
you
my
own a
time.
home?
I'm a seasonal girl. Yeah, so my condo's in Edgewater, which is right on the other side of South Beach.
Yeah,
And so I go down there in the winter, and then I'm back in New York for like the summer and the fall because summers are the worst in Miami. So it's
yeah.
just the perfect like balance, and I need a little bit of both because I don't think I could be 100% Miami, and I don't think I could be 100% New York. So I've been juggling this lifestyle for like 12 years now. I've been doing the
How
back
do
and
you
forth.
balance it? How do you keep your New York business going when you're in Miami, and your Miami business going when you're in New York?
I have a
Like I have a
phenomenal
hard time
team.
balancing my business 40 miles away from here. It's like,
It's all
you
about
know,
your team.
yeah,
Technology and your team. I've got my laptop and I have my cell phone. I can take calls, I can service clients, I can send emails. I have my team in New York that actually goes to the closings. Miami, Florida is a title state, so attorneys are not mandatory, they're optional. The title company
in
acts as
Texas.
settlement. Yep, and same in Texas. So, I've figured out a very, fine-tuned balance, but it works when you figure it out.
Are you licensed in Texas?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Hmm.
No,
I have a
unfortunately.
business plan I'm working on. I thought, oh, wonder if she's licensed in Texas.
No.
Okay, we can talk about that offline. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So okay, so you are a firm believer that teamwork makes the dream work. That's how you keep everything going. Talk to us about what does 5 years and 10 years from now look like for you?
All right, sure. So I've launched my abundance real estate coaching program.
Ooh,
This
I
plat
know.
Yeah, so this platform is really important to me because my passion is truly education, and my passion is truly helping agents succeed in their business and scale their business, especially women. And a majority of the licensed agents in our country are women. So in 5 years from now, I am going to be full on, full throttle with my abundance real estate coaching and with my Win the Listing online course. The law practice is great, closings are great, but I feel like a hamster in the wheel. I don't feel like I'm doing enough good for society. So, again, it's really pushing the coaching program, training, education, and adding value to agents wherever I can to help them become more successful and increase their sales.
Tell me, I'm going to put the website up here. What is the web address for the abundance coaching?
Yes, abundancerealestatecoaching.com, all one word.
Look at you. You even got the .com. Oh, real estate coaching. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And so then that's an online platform. So you do group coaching?
Yep. So I do group coaching, I do private coaching, and then yep, that's it. Thank you so much. And then
Yeah.
I have the Win the Listing course, which is just an online 7 video module course of the A to Z blueprint on how to help a lot of buyers agents and listing agents win more exclusive listings. Because now in today's market, it's really important for agents to become more diversified. And
Yeah.
those that have only been working as buyer's agents should really start focusing on sellers and winning more exclusive. So my online course helps them with that.
I love that. What do you see that the challenges are for women? We have a $1 million wealth gap, between men and women through all the investments, through property ownership. So the stats say that by the time you're 50 years old, same education, same income, same everything, right? Even playing field. He will be worth $1 million or more than she is.
Mm-hmm.
Give me
You
your
know,
take on that.
I mean, that's pretty shocking to me, and it's unfortunate to hear, but I can't say that I'm surprised. And the reason being is I think the history of women in our society have been deemed the child rearers, the homemakers, and they have had to dedicate so much of their time and their lives to mothering and to taking care of the household, where the man has been deemed the provider. So I think where the disparity lies is that women miss out on 10 years, a whole decade of their lives where they are building their families and providing for their families, where they get into the game late, later in their lives. So it takes, they have less time to really build the wealth and build their portfolio of real estate investments, because they're kind of, dealt the short end of the stick. Now, mothering and being a homemaker is so crucial, and it's so
It is.
undervalued, I think,
Yep.
because there's no dollar associated with it, but it's the
Yep.
biggest reward, and the biggest impact that women have, in the world. So I
Mhm.
think by educating more women and saying, look, you can start young. You can, we're multitaskers. That's like the best thing of, being a woman, is that we absolutely are highly organized, multitaskers. And if we educate them from an early, on in their lives, saying, hey, you can be a mom, you can maintain the family, you can maintain your household, but you can also invest in real estate. You can also build the long-term wealth so that you are not solely dependent, on your partner to, for financial security. And you have to
Right.
build your own financial security. And this is how. So and I think, Lisa, you and I can definitely team up on this, but I do a lot of first time home buyer seminars to a lot of
Mhm.
young women, and I teach them, there's so many different tools, both from mortgage financing perspective, both from first time home buyer grants, down payment assistance programs, whatever it is, where you can build your portfolio and you can build that generational wealth, over time, if you start early and believe in yourself and have the tools that will allow you to get there.
So for the ladies that are watching this, and they're not in the real estate game, but they want to learn more from you, they want to follow you. How do they find you?
Yeah, so you can contact me on my 360 site. It's talia360.com, TALIYA360.com. And you can connect with me both, via email, text, my social media, any way that you want to, you can contact me directly. And I would love to support you and be a resource for you and guide you in any way that I can, because I am all about women empowerment and breeding success for the women in our country and world.
Is that the right email address that they
That's
can
right.
follow you? Yeah.
You
And
got it.
so, yeah, thank you. So as we wrap up, I think it's so critical. What I love, and all the guests I've got on this podcast, like amazing women like yourself, celebrities, and every one of them has said yes. Like everyone has said, if there's one thing, if I could leave one nugget with a woman that would change her life, then this was 30 minutes well spent. So what is the one nugget you want to leave for the audience?
I would like to say, take a chance on yourself. Have faith in yourself, and do not rely on anybody else to do the work for you. Believe in yourself, and you will, make strides beyond your wildest dreams. But take a chance on yourself, and trust me, you will not be disappointed with the results.
I love that. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm coming to New York soon. You and I are going
Great.
to get together. We're going to do an event. I can't wait.
Yes.
Thank you so much today for just pouring in to this audience. We could talk for hours. We could just talk for
Yeah.
hours. But if you all want to follow Talia, find her on Instagram, go to her website, talia360.com. You're an incredible, incredible person, an incredible leader, just, an incredible force in the real estate industry today. So I'm proud to call you friend and partner. So thank you again, Talia. Thank you for showing up today. And if you guys want to know more, just go to realestateherway.com, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.